Okay, people, welcome back. So here's the page that I set up for tracking ideas in my director's journal. Oh, I just realized I didn't label this page. So this is my director's journal, and this is repeated ideas. Okay. So the way I set this up is at the top I put prologue, because that's the very beginning of the play, and then I put end for end of the play. As I'm watching the play, I'm going to figure out what those repeated ideas are. The tricky thing with this part of what I want you to track is until you're into the play, you probably don't know what's being repeated. So I would just set up the left side of this, like what are 4 ideas you could track. If you don't know what they are yet, that's okay, leave them blank. Then maybe after you've watched for like 2 days, you can stop and think back, what are some of those things that are repeated. One that I've already noticed is repeated is conflict. So the first thing that happens is Samson and Gregory and Abraham get into it. They start a fight because of which families they work for. Then everyone gets involved. So in terms of conflict in Act 1, Scene 1, Act 1, Scene 1, that's what's going on with that idea. As I see more conflict, I'm going to keep writing down ideas. If this ends up going on to another page, that's totally fine, no big deal. And then in the same way, I'll think of what are some other things that keep getting repeated over and over. One thing I already know is probably romantic love, because that right away gets brought up. Romeo is all bent out of shape because he really loves this woman, Rosaline, who is going to become a nun, so she is not interested in him. So every time I see that romantic love come up, I'm going to write it down. I put Act 1, Scene 1, but you might, because some of you are not reading it, you don't know what act or scene it is, maybe you can just put the time that it is in the movie so that it's easy to get back to, because you're going to eventually want to be able to get back to these. So in the same way that if you were taking notes, I would have you write down page numbers, you can write down like the time in the video or something like that. So just find a way to do that so that you keep track of everything. All right, let me know if you have questions.